welcome to Mr. Paul's Pantry. This afternoon I'm going to show you how to make a beef curry pasty. I get lots and lots of requests for these. I used to make them in my bakery here in Spain, sold them by the hundreds, but I've never made one since I retired. So this is my first attempt since I retired. And it's very simple to do. It's a bit like a Cornish pasty, but it's got no other vegetables, only onion and potato in it. Now I'll go through the ingredients as I put them in the pan, and there will also be a list underneath the video showing you what the list of ingredients are. It'll be on my website, and I'll put them on the screen as I put them in the video in the pan. Okay, so this is it. Let's do it for our, what did I say? You've forgotten already. Yes, it was our minced beef curry pasties. Just light the gas. There we are. Now what we need to do first is heat the pan a little, and we're going to cook in a dry pan. No oil or fat goes in this pan at all. I've got some nice, pretty lean beef here. Don't get one with too much fat in. I actually bought the meat and minced it myself so I could see how much fat there was. But usually if you buy in supermarkets these days, they do tell you the percentage of fat. You get about 10 or 12%, okay? So this is going into the pan first off. Into a dry pan. Just leave it for a short while, don't keep stirring it as soon as you put things in the pan. You need heat for cooking, and if you keep moving it around as soon as you put it in the pan, nothing gets any chance to heat up. So we have to get the heat going into the whatever we're cooking. You can hear it now sizzling away. And we're going to add to that the onions. Now I've got a very finely chopped onion here. First of all, there's 250 grams of beef there. Here there's 100 grams of onion. It's one reasonably sized onion. Just smooth that out a little bit. And then I've got some potato I've diced here. You can see that very diced it small. And there's 100 grams of that as well going in. So all that's going in the pan to start with no fat. And we're going to cook that for 10 or 12 minutes. I'm going to start moving it a little now because I want the meat to start to colour. I don't want any red meat showing before I take it off the heat. I want to go, just turn that over. There we are. I'm going to turn my heat down slightly now, so I'm not burning anything. Just keep it on the sizzle and just keep giving it a turn occasionally like that. And I'll be back as soon as all that red meat's gone and it's nice and brown. Okay, now 5 or 6 minutes have gone by, and you can see now my mince is not clumped together. It's all broken up nicely and no red meat showing at all. So now we can start to add some more of the ingredients. And the next thing to go in is a little salt and pepper. That's the first thing. Not too much salt. I don't use too much salt because I'm on a low salt diet, but you can put in what you want. You can also season it afterwards, and some black pepper, which I absolutely love. So I'm going to give a good twist of that and give that a little stir just to distribute it a little. It's a very simple thing to do, is this. Next thing that goes in is 2 tablespoonfuls of curry powder. And give that a little stir. Just make sure it's well distributed. And then I'm going to put in 2 tablespoonfuls of mango chutney. Now you can use sweet mango chutney or hot mango chutney, whichever you prefer. I'm using hot mango chutney, but you can use whichever you like. Just make sure you get the 2 tablespoons of that in. Sorry, I think I said teaspoons, I'm not sure, but it's tablespoons. So that goes in next. And we're going to cook that now for a further 5 minutes. I'll be back as soon as that's 5 minutes is up. Now, the 5 minutes is up. Now, if you've had your heat on a little high and you feel it's a bit dry in here, mine was a little dry because I wasn't taking notice when I was talking to you. But I put about, 3 or 4 tablespoons, that's all, of cold water, and then I'm just cook that until that disappears. I don't want any free liquid in the bottom, okay? But it just stops it all burning in the bottom. And that's doing very, very nicely now. And I think that will do. I'm going to add the last of the ingredients, which is 50 grams of frozen peas. No need to thaw them out, just pop them in. And just mix those through. And once those are mixed in, we're going to leave that now to one side until it cools completely, because as I tell you, every time we're making pastry with fillings inside, you cannot put a hot filling inside a pastry case. It's impossible. As soon as you put that in, the heat starts to affect the pastry and it will never crisp up. So I'm going to turn the heat off now, and I'm going to leave that to one side until we're ready to use it. So we got the pastry. I'm using puff pastry today. You can buy it or make it, it makes no difference. I've cut it into about 5 or 6 inch squares like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a nice dollop of the filling, which you can see here. It's quite nice and cool now. I'm going to put a dollop of the filling into each of the pasties. Like that. I think I might just have got a little too much on that one. Okay. And then you can use water if you want, but I've cracked an egg to do the tops with, so I'm just going to use the egg that I've got so I don't waste it. But you can use water for this. It doesn't make any difference. It's only just to use as a glue to stick the pastry down. So we're going to go across each edge like that, quite liberally. And as I said, I'm using puff pastry. I nearly always have some puff pastry in the freezer because it's a bind if I want to make it just for something like this. So I usually have some in the freezer. And, oh, I haven't done that one, sorry. What we're going to do now is very simple. There's no fancy method of making pasties here, no fancy crimping or anything like that, because don't forget, I've explained to you before, in the bakery, we had to make things as quick, easy and as simple as possible, so anybody in the bakery could do it. So if somebody was busy doing something else, anybody could take over. And making fancy pastries in my bakery was a no-no. So we've done that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take the 2 corners, fold them over like that and like that, and like that and like that. Squash where they are corners where you can see the gap. That's all you need to do. Take it over to the center, over to the center. And these 4 corners, just squash them where you can see the gap like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just squash the corners. Because we've got a nice coating of egg all over everywhere else, the rest of it will seal itself down. But where you can see those little gaps, just squash it like that, just to stop any leakages. And what we're going to do next is put them on the baking tray. Got a baking tray here. Let me just get my spatula. It doesn't matter how organised I get, there's always something I've forgotten. So they're going to go on the baking tray, nicely spaced out, like that. And then we're going to egg wash the tops liberally. There we go. And once you've done this, they're going to go into the oven, and they're going to go in at 190, between 180 and 190. I've got mine at 190. No fan, because I don't use a fan in my oven. It hasn't got one actually. So that's a good excuse for not using it. I only do that because in the bakery, our ovens never had fans, and I just got used to doing that. So when I got a new oven in my house, did I want one with a fan? I said no, because quite a lot of them I couldn't switch the fans off, and also I learned from talking to other people on here on YouTube that if you have a fan oven, you have to turn the oven temperature down slightly because they run hotter than what you've set it at. So I don't want to do that. So they're going in the oven now, and they'll be in there for about 18 to 20 minutes. Well, here we are, just out of the oven, and they do look very, very nice indeed. Nice crispy pasties, no soggy bottoms, and they're too hot at the moment to have a look inside, but we are going to have a look inside in a moment, and I'll see what's happened, what they're like. So there we are, there's my beef curry pasties. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's a nice succulent little snack. You can have it hot or cold, and I hope you have a go at making them. Well, if you've enjoyed the video, go underneath, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends on social media, and if you haven't subscribed already, it's free to do so. It means if you press subscribe, ring the little bell at the side, YouTube will inform you every time I put up a new video, so you won't miss one. Well, that's all I have time for today, so it's Mr. Paul saying bye for now, and I'll see you all next time. Thanks for calling round. Bye!